Hello, Gary Hernandez here, and welcome to Cane Self-Defense with Master Gary Hernandez. I had an individual by the name of Barry who follows our channel. He asked me a very interesting question. His question was, if you have an attacker approaching you, and he's not too worried about your cane, are there things you can do to kind of let him know that you mean business and kind of, discourage him? Well, to answer that question, first off, you kind of have two different kind of attackers, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. You have the one set of individuals that you may not meant to, or maybe you did on purpose, piss them off. Whether it's road rage, whether it's somebody at work, whether it's somebody at a bar or a restaurant, something, and they followed you down the street, outside, whatever. That person is pissed off. You get into a argument with them, and that starts to turn and escalate into something more almost physical. That person is just so pissed off at you right now. That's one, and we'll come back to that in just a minute. The other one is when you have somebody who is out there looking for victims to either rob, rape, abduct, or murder. And that's another set. So let's go back to the first one here. Number one, I've shown videos before how to kind of de-escalate that without looking too aggressive. But if you want this person to understand that you can defend yourself, and you got to be very careful how you do that. One of the secrets, and I'm not talking any martial arts basic maneuvers or stuff like that, but one of the things that martial arts or self-defense, the biggest secret that you want to have with that is you're not telling somebody. Because the minute you go into any kind of martial arts stance, which is going to get you killed, or you go into something crazy and you picking it up looking like a wild man, that's going to get you killed and arrested. What you want to do is you first off want to be able to show confidence. Unless you have to have that cane and you're really in a lot of bad shape, but if you're carrying that cane maybe just once in a while you need it for mobility, or you're carrying it for mobility yet you can still move pretty good, or you're carrying it for a self-defense tool and you don't need it for mobility at all, you still want to show confidence. You want to be able to stand up tall, straight. This person's pissed or yelling at you. You want to de-escalate the situation. You want to, hey, look, excuse me. Sorry about that. It was, you want to talk firm, but you don't want to yell. You don't want to talk down to them. You want to, look, sorry about that. Yes, it was my fault. I apologize. If it wasn't your fault, you say, hey, look, this is the situation. Come on, let's talk about this. Number one, they see the canes in your hand. You're moving around a bit. So they do see this cane. Again, they're probably not going to worry much about that because they're pissed off. They're angry. They're not being rational. Most rational people don't think straight and they're pissed off at the moment. But they see you do have this cane and you're moving around a bit. So yeah, you can use it for something else besides mobility. So hopefully you're discouraged. If you start spinning it or picking up in a manner like this, number one, yes, it may discourage them. But if they're that pissed off, they may go to their car, come back with a firearm. And then you've got a real big problem. So you got to be careful of that. So first thing I would say is have confidence and kind of, talk stern, but not aggressive. Let them know that, hey, you can defend yourself by the way you're holding your mannerisms, by the way you're handling the situation. But again, you're not trying to start a fight. Now, let's flip this over to the other side where you got, and I'll come back to this in a minute, you got an individual that's already looking for victims. Now, listen to the word victims. How do you become a victim? Sometimes wrong place, wrong time. Sometimes they're looking for somebody who's weak, injured. Victim doesn't always have to be somebody that's feeble or anything. You can be walking around with a Rolex, flashing, jewelry and all that, and then they're going to want to rob you. And usually they're going to have a gun or a knife or something. First thing in this one over here is you want to have situational awareness. You don't walk down that creepy alley at 2 a.m. And when you're walking, again, you're walking with confidence. You're walking, if you do see somebody starting to approach you, all right, and you want to discourage this individual, they see the cane, okay. You can pick it up, move it around. I wouldn't suggest start spinning it because then that kind of sends the wrong signal. Will that discourage somebody? It could possibly do that. It could also turn around and say, well, that guy may want to start to reach for a gun then. So again, situational awareness, having that cane, kind of making sure that they know you don't need it for mobility. If you spin it and that's your thing, that's great. Just be careful. Number two, you're looking at them. You're making eye contact. You're letting them know you see them. You can smile, you can look at them, stuff like that. Now, one of the things I would do if I've got one or two people and I think there's something up, I'll change directions. I'll go a different direction. I will go a few minutes out of my way to stop myself from A, getting mugged, hurt, or killed, or B, defending myself to where I may kill them, and then I got more problems. So I will go out of my way. If they start to follow me, then I will call 911, or I'll try to go to an area with people. Third thing is, speaking of calling 911, if you have your phone, don't bury yourself, especially if you're walking somewhere and you see some people, don't bury yourself in your phone. Simply have it ready in case you need to speed dial 911 or something, but have it ready. But again, you're making eye contact. You're showing you don't need it. You don't need the cane actually for mobility. And that confidence kind of does help a bit. Now, when I'm changing directions, I'm making sure I'm following that rule that I have. And it's not really the rule I have. It's in a lot of different systems. You have different zones. You have a green zone, you have a yellow zone, and you have a red zone. If you get in a red zone, which is this close to an individual, you're already kind of messed up a bit. So I see the individual. To discourage them, I'll look at them, I'll turn, whatever. But let's say I have to walk by them. So if I'm walking by them, I'll pick up my cane and put it in the other hand. Now they know I don't need this cane for mobility. I'm also taking the cane and putting it in the hand that they're not going to be able to grab easy. And they kind of see that. So now they know, okay, this guy doesn't need that cane for mobility. He's aware I'm here. He moved his cane. So does that mean they may up their game? They could. But again, I'm having to walk down this path. They're coming my way, and I just simply let them know. Now, when I walk by, if they go, hello, hello, I may say hello and stuff, I'll kind of keep an eye on them. But when I walk past somebody, if I can, as I'm walking past them, I'm taking myself a little bit away from them. So if they try to do something, I have time to move. I have time to strike. I have a second to do something. Again, I'm making eye contact with this individual. I'm letting them know I see them. I'm letting them know this cane, without doing anything crazy, I'm letting them know this cane is not something I need for mobility. And I can change directions if necessary and then go from there. Going back to the individual that's pissed off at me, that's when the zones are really important also. He's mad, so I want to keep him at that green zone. Again, this is the worst thing to do is, pick it up, let this guy know that I know how to use this cane and I'm ready to hit him in the head. This right here, because A, he's going to go either get another weapon. If he leaves, how do I know he's not going for a weapon? B, somebody may be filming this. So if this does go down, they may not hear all the audio, but they see me aggressively like this. If you take a step, I happen to hit him. It's going to get dicey in court. So again, I have the cane up. I'm letting them know I don't need this cane for mobility because I'm moving it around a little bit. I'm talking my way out of this the best I can. If things start to get more situated, I've chambered down. I am ready. They can see that I am chambered down, but again, I'm not aggressive to where they, this, get away from me or I'm going to blunt you with this. Okay, that may work. But now this also may get me in trouble. So you got to look at the two different situations. But both of them have the same thing. Number one, walk with confidence. Number two, situational awareness. Number three, don't be on something that's going to distract you. Number four, if you see somebody, move your cane around a bit. Let them know that you don't need this for self-defense. Again, it might slightly backfire, and they may want to go straight to a weapon because they think you're going to do something with them. That's kind of up in the air. I can't say it won't happen. And then the last one is between both situations, walk away, leave, go back in the store, go somewhere, get away from this individual here, change directions, and get away from these people here. So those are the best things that you can do, and hopefully discourage them and defuse the situation here. So hopefully those techniques help, or not techniques, but the suggestions help. So Barry, thank you for asking that question, and I hope that does help you. Gary Hernandez, thank you very much, and I will see you guys very soon. Have a good weekend.